What we measure, we can improve. That's how, as a coach or an English teacher, I find the best ways to help my learners succeed. Things can get tough, and improving isn't easy. The key is to assess the progress they are making, to know what they can do, so I can give feedback that will help build their confidence and keep them motivated. With Cambridge, assessment is integrated with learning, helping me measure and guide my learners' progress, so they learn what they need to succeed, to get the most from every moment, to help their worlds grow. Because Cambridge is where your world grows.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today in this Back to School with Cambridge online event. We are very happy to have you with us here. To start, just a bit of a reminder, we are going to send you certificates of attendance after this event. You will get them on your email. We are also going to add the recording of this session in the Back to School landing page, and you're going to get the link in your email as well. And of course, we'd love to hear from you, so please do use the chat and Q&A to interact with us. You will also get a short survey after the event for you to tell us how it went. So some other news and resources for you before we start. This is the link and the QR code to the Back to School with Cambridge 2026 landing page. Here you will have lots of fresh teaching ideas, new and updated classroom and digital resources. You will also find a recording of these webinars and others, and a lot of support for preparing students for Cambridge English qualifications. So please do scan this code and you will get the link as well in the follow-up email. And next, another reminder is that we do have an online teacher community on Instagram, and you can use this other QR code to follow us here. You will have lots of resources, some testimonials from other teachers across the region, and lots of links to download free resources for your daily work. And now, before we start, I wanted to introduce today's speaker. Here we have Andres Lopez. Andres is an ELT professional with over 10 years of experience in bilingual education, curriculum design, and academic leadership. He holds a degree in modern languages for Universidad del Quindío and a master's in cultural studies from Pontificia Universidad Javeriana in Bogotá. He is currently the Professional Learning and Development Consultant for Cambridge University Present Assessment in Colombia, supporting teacher development and the advancement of English language teaching practices. So thank you, Andres, for being here with us today. Now over to you for today's session.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here with you again. Thank you, Celeste, for all the introduction to this amazing resources that we're going to have in the landing page. And of course, teachers, remember that this is something that is going to be great for you, for your professional development. So please use all the resources because you are not alone in this process. Cambridge is next to you every single time, okay? So today we're going to address this webinar on how to get the most of Shining Lights. Shining Lights is our brand new series for secondary students. It means that for teenagers in ages 11 till 16, 17. And this is what we have had like so far. And I would love you to have any interaction, as Celeste was mentioning, in the QR code, in the chat box, or in the Q&A box. Okay, that will be great. So we can have something at the end to answer any question. And if you have any question as well, in the meanwhile, I explain some of the features that the series has. You just let me know, okay? So this is what this session will cover. We will have a course overview. We will have the pedagogical themes about why this series is important. Okay, we are going to have a unit to walk through and the supporting resources that we're going to have from this series until now. Okay. Okay, right now we have this, my dear teacher. So these are the components of Shining Lights. I would like to know who of you is already having this material in your school, if you have seen it already physically. Okay, teacher Emiliano says I'm currently using the B1 series. Not yet, okay. That's great. Not yet. It means that we have a chance, okay. So as you can see here, we have students' books, we have teachers' books, and the workbook, okay. That is what comes physically. But online, we have other resources that we will take a look at them later on what it is included in the platform. And this series covers level starter from to level 7. It means 8 levels, okay? Level starter starts with an A1, level, and the exit target of this series is C1 plus, okay? So C1 plus is the exit target of this series. So Shining Lights is going to take you students to a C1 plus, okay? Okay, that's great. Thank you, teachers. Now I'm going to close the chat box, so I'm going to come back again to here one. Okay. Now, what is important about Shining Lights? Okay. It underpins these pedagogical and theoretical resources, you know. It is important to know that everything that comes from Cambridge is based on research. So every single product that you get from Cambridge is product of really narrow research that has been done through Cambridge University Press and Assessment and all the authors that have come to bring this product for you. So these are four pedagogical bases that underpin the series. We are going to see oracy, problem-based learning, life competencies, and ILA, that is integrated learning and assessment. These four researches are going to be really, really helpful for your students because it's not only to teach English, but to teach English under some research that have been done by the university itself. Okay, let's start by the beginning. Let's start with the first one. So, oracy, right? Is this situation familiar to you? Let's say I ask my students to work in groups and speak only English, but they immediately started using L1. What can I do? In our case, Spanish, right? So I ask my students to do a task and I ask them to do it only in English, but they immediately start using Spanish. What can I do? Has it happened to you as English teachers? Okay, let's see. Yes, says Miss Namir, right? Okay. That's a yes, many times. Yes, yes, right? Okay. So I used to teach as well, and it happened a lot, you know, and most of all when you have groups, right? So you're here with this group assessing English, but the other one is talking about the movie that they saw last night in Spanish, right? So it happens a lot. That is why we have this focus, okay? We need to focus on oracy. But what is oracy, right? That is the big question because we have heard a lot about oracy. Is that speaking? Is that speaking skill? What is oracy? Okay. So it is developing students' real life spoken language skills. Okay. So it is not just a controlled speaking task. It's not just a controlled speaking task, but it's a task on how I can develop students' life skills. Okay, so oracy is not a language skill itself, it is a life skill. So based on that, what typical phrases do we need when having a discussion? For example, what do you think, right? That is one famous phrase when we are having a discussion. Which other one do we need when having a discussion? Let's read. I'm going to read. Okay. Do you want me to give you another example? I agree, disagree. Okay. Yes, Mr. Andres. I agree, disagree. What about this one? I completely agree, right? Is what Mr. Andres was saying. What's your opinion about? Okay. So yes, we have a lot of them when having a discussion, right? Because it's something that we usually do when doing it, when discussing, and it's something that we already do because we know the language. But in the case of our students, they need to develop, okay? Remember that a skill is something that we develop in the class. Oracy is one of those skills that are going to be developed through shining lights. These are some other examples. What's your opinion, right? I don't think so. I like to suggest why don't we do this or we do that, right? And what are the benefits of developing oracy skills in our students? So first of all, greater confidence. They are going to gain confidence while speaking because it's not just replying to a speaking task, is doing something beyond, right? Oracy skills are transferable to your own language, so it means that students are going to be confident not only in English but also in the mother language. In our case, it's Spanish, right? Students can be better listeners, absolutely. And that is because oracy is not only about speaking, but also about how we pay attention to the details that are happening around us. Okay? And oracy is peer assessed and self assessed rather than teacher assessed. So students are going to be aware of what they are doing instead of you just telling them, please, can you tell me this or can you tell me that, right? So assessment is not going to be always on you, but they are going to know how well they are doing it. So this is the first principle based on research that we have on shining lights. And this is something important because so far we have just seen only speaking tasks. So oracy is one of the biggest pillars in research that have been included in Shining Lights. How do we see them? Okay. So it is clearly set out at the start of every even numbered unit. So how does it look like? Look at the bottom. It says like something like this, right? So every single time you're going to look at tips, not only in the students' books or in the workbook, but also in the teacher's book, okay, on how to teach oracy, how to take these points and teach them. So it is something that you can see. The word oracy is going to be seen in most of the pages that you're going to see in Shining Lights, okay? From starter till level 7, okay? So remember that this is a guided communicative task. Students need to develop this skill, and Shining Lights is going to help you teachers to develop it, okay? Now let's go to the next pillar, problem-based learning, right? So problem-based learning is another one that has been included in Shine Lights, and it has to do with this, the challenges. You have seen something, for example, the ones who are familiar with Power Up that has these missions, right? Or any other from Shape It that has the projects, right? So in this case, Shining Lights offers up um, another one that has to do with the challenge. Okay, from units starter till 5. Okay, you're going to see challenges. Okay, but in units of C1, it means 6 and 7. You are not going to see challenges, but you are going to see things about that have to do with the sustainability framework from Cambridge. That is another research that has been included. So this is really nice, because it is not something that only students are going to do for problem solving, but also for reflecting. So this sustainability framework has been also created, and this is the first series that is included in explicitly speaking. Okay, so challenges are also this problem solving. What is the value of change? First of all, it engages students. Okay, discuss real issues, please. Um, it discusses real issues. Okay, so we know when something is happening in real life. Bringing real world knowledge, because it's something that is not made out of nothing. It has to do with realia. Okay. Collaborate to solve problems and use more than just language skills. And this is the most important part, because we are not, as I was mentioning with RC, we are not developing only language skills, but life skills. Okay. This is something that you also have. This is the project organizers that we have in the teachers resources to support students. So this, in case we see that they are struggling on building these challenges, we can help them out. So these materials are already there for you. Okay, we have the time management plan and the peer evaluation form. So this is something on how they are going to get feedback not only from others but also from themselves. The process is going to be on them, okay? And this is the best of problem solving methodology, that they are going to have an autonomy on doing the things, okay? We are going to see also the key WL charts. I think that we already know what this is, the know, want to know, and what I learned, right? Sorry, this is the one. And what I learned, right? So it is important that they can also be aware of the learning process, right? And they also have a learning diary. So we have a lot of resources to take in order to keep the track on this type of challenges. And this is also learning oriented assessment, that we focus on the process of our students while they develop the project, in this case, the challenges, rather than just at the end. You see, how are you going to see the challenges? The challenges, you see them through the whole unit. Okay, we're going to see that later on when we have the unit walkthrough. And finally, the life competencies. What are the life competencies? I'm pretty sure that you have seen this before. If you have not seen this before, teachers, you need to, okay? I'm going to give you the resources because this is important not only for you as English teachers, but life competencies are for everybody. So we can share life competencies with the science teacher, with the math teacher, social studies teacher, because this is something that has to do with all of us. It's not only on us, but Shining Light has explicit topics about the development of life competencies. Okay, as you can see, we have several of them in here in the framework. And why are life competencies important? Okay, it is authentic and motivating. It links to real world needs. So it is something that we use right now. I believe that you have heard about the 21st century skills. It is kind of related, okay? But of course, this is Cambridge researched. So it is something that you can use from Cambridge itself, okay? It encourages discussion. It has opportunities for more variety tasks in the class, builds confidence and motivation, creates need for functional language, and this is the most important part as well, okay? Helps students develop the language, and is tested in Cambridge exams, okay? This is the QR code that you can scan in case you are interested on everything that has to do about the life competencies framework. You are going to find not only the introduction to the framework, but also an introduction and explanation of every single competency, okay? Apart from this, you are going to find some activity cards, and these activity cards can be used with the use of Shining Lights as well. So while you are using some things from Shining Lights that are already included, you can maximize the development of life competencies with these activity cards, okay? So the activity cards are mapped according to ages, and it is important that you can also take them as a teaching opportunity, okay? So please, teachers, the resources are for you to use them. They are here. Please, let's take advantage of them. And as I told you, you are going to see it also explicitly on some pages of Shining Light. Okay. So these are three of the most important projects that Cambridge has researched that are included in Shining Lights. It's important for you to know because sometimes we see what the book is about, we see just the topics, right? If the topics meet my needs, but what about the pedagogical issue behind, right? What about the science behind Shining Lights? So that is why I wanted to bring this for you right now because it's important that you know where every single task comes from, okay? So I hope that all of this is ready. So now that we have seen how that research project was made out for Shining Lights, let's go to business, okay? Okay, this is something that I was telling you. This is how you can see it, okay? There is even a map of the Shining Lights life competencies with the tasks that it has per unit, okay? And you can also see where you can, if your students are struggling on something, is because kind of related with also the development of the language. So every single time that you see this, it refers that you are developing a life competency. Okay. So as I was telling you, this is how you see the three main projects like being part of this series, and I love to talk about this because whenever you think of Cambridge, think about research, okay? And this product is based on research, so this is something that I love, okay? Let's go to the unique walkthrough. So we have something special in Shining Lights is that we have a development of the even numbered units and the odd number units. Okay. So I'm going to take a time to explain both of them, how the odd ones look like and how the even ones look like because they have different components, though they share some others. Okay. Let's start by the even ones, okay? So remember that the even units are always going to be focused on oracy, okay? And you're going to see in every opening the learning aims. In here, for example, you're going to see everything about that one. So clear, detailed learning aims, okay? You're going to see them there. You are going to see the images that are going to call students for this inquiry-based learning as well, so they can make questions, so they can reflect on what the unit is going to be about. And in the teacher's book, my dear teachers, in the teacher's book, you're going to find some tips to approach these learning aims, okay? It's not just to leave them there, but how you can approach this learning name so your students know what they are going to learn during the unit. Okay. This is another aspect of it. Okay. You work on oracy aims even from the very start of the unit. Okay. So you are going to see a lot of things, and this is my favorite part. My favorite part is that Shining Light had lots of videos. I think that what I heard to one of the authors that was Dan Vincent is that this is one of the series from Cambridge that has as many videos as it can, because we wanted to have like a kind of different approach to grammar, to Oracy, right? The speaking tasks are even mapped also to the test that it is like addressed to, and we have documentaries even, okay? Let's see. This is the all the videos that I was just mentioning, right? These are like the worksheets that you have. So for documentaries, for grammar animations, for grammar blogs, we have two different things for teaching grammar. We have animation and vlogs. The vlogs are made by real people. The animations, as its name says, is an animation. Okay. So we have the before watching, the during watching, the after one, and let's continue with this one, right? Because the digital interactive whiteboard activates on it needs to be activated on the presentation plus, and you can also play with your students about this. It's not just the plain book, but you can also have a digital interaction with this, okay? And as what I was telling you, as you can see, you have in here something about the life competencies development. In this case, which competence are we going to develop? Critical thinking, right? The task is mapped to critical thinking. This is how Oracy looks like, right? And what you can see at the bottom of this, your Oracy, for example, is what comes at the end of each unit. That is the stretch, okay? The stretch section in Shining Lights is for those students who might need more. You see? For those ones who say, "Oh, teacher, that is too easy." Okay, please let's do this. Let's stretch it out, right? So this stretch section that you can see at the bottom of the page in at the end of the unit is for doing more. Okay, and this is how the complementary material looks like. Everything that you see in black and white is photocopyable, so it means that you can print one and photocopy it for your class, or maybe ask your students to do it. But it is available for photocopying. Okay, so these extra Oracy worksheets expand more, as you can see. So it's not only this part of stretching, right? It's not only this part of stretching, but you can also have more worksheets to work on on Oracy. Okay. The reading is going to be included in here, right? It has comprehensive exam preparation every single time. And I forgot, wow, my goodness, I forgot to tell you, Shining Lights is one of the official exam preparation materials. It means that you're going to also find a lot of exam training, a lot of tips for the exam according to the level that you are teaching. Okay, so levels starter and one are mapped to the A2 key. Okay, levels 2 and 3 are mapped to the B1 preliminary, and levels 4 and 5 are mapped to the B2 first. All the versions are for schools. Okay, so it is mapped to them. So every single time that you see something about this, like exam tip, exam training, is mapped with the exam that is lined the level. Okay? In this case, I'm taking examples from Shining Lights 3, so it means that it is mapped to B1 preliminary. Okay? Again, we see the stretch at the end of the section, as you can see. So stretch is always there. It works a lot for those fast finishers, you know, the ones that take this as easy as it seems, but we can take it for something for those students who want to do more, right? Two grammar topics per unit. Two grammar topics per unit, so it means that we're going to cover two grammar structures, right? And at C1 levels, one video and one audio, okay? It is important that in the C1 level, something changes. This is how this looked like, right? So in the presentation plus, of course, you can click on the video. And now I'm going to show to you how this looked like, okay? The grammar reference and practice is going to always be available for your students. This is something that I usually do not do not recommend teachers to use this in class. This should be complementary material when our students are struggling at some structure, or for those students who might not understand really well what we are doing and they need explicit content, we can ask them to go there, right? But why I do not recommend to go through this grammar reference and practice, because this is pure grammar. And we are going to lose many of the sense of working with a course book like Shining Lights, okay? This is how it looks like. So, and this is something that I was telling you about. As you can see at the bottom of the page, you can see this that I love the most and is self-feedback. Okay, how is Unit 2 so far, for example, right? And this is the listening. You are going to have in the listening all the time. This type of also exam-like exercises or tasks. Okay, and you're going to also find mediation worksheets. Remember that mediation skills were added to the Common European Framework of Reference in 2021. It means that this is the most updated series, even for the CFR. Okay, so these mediation worksheets are going to also complement the other life skill, the other oracy skills that you are developing through Shining Light. So more skills to develop. So your students are going to be like well structured in skills. Okay. And this is how it looks like, okay? Again, remember that everything in black and white is photocopiable, okay? Let's go to an example of how this looks like. This is an example of what I was telling you, right? Every single time that you see this symbol at the top of the page, this shield with a C next to a bulb, okay? It means that this is the section to develop life competencies, okay? This is the section to develop life competencies. How can we complement this? I told you before, right? With um, with the activity cards that I show you. Okay, so this is a good way of how we can complement also this part of teaching this section of the life competencies. So do not rely only on what the book has, because we have extra things apart for you to complement your teaching. Okay, like this one. Can you see now how it complements? So it is not just what the book is proposing, what the teacher's book is proposing me, but I also have other resources from Cambridge that can help me out to complement this type of task. Okay? Let's take a look at this. This is important because in the digital resources, students can solve the same tasks that are in the student book physical, and this is something that they can do also to practice. And here they can watch the video and they can answer the questions, as you can see here. Okay, there are suggestions for fast finishers in the teacher's book. So, as I was telling you, they are going to also have access to extra grammar activities, and they are going to find a lot of other resources in the digital results, in the digital tools that we have from Cambridge. Okay, this is how it looks like. The videos. Let's see. Okay, this is the self-assessment at the end of your unit. Remember, the other self-assessment was like in the middle, like how we are doing so far, right? So this could be also like a warning in case somebody picks 1 star, right? This is at the end. And the vocabulary reference page being both sets covers in each unit, so you are going to have everything here. As you can see in the bottom of the page, you have digital classroom. So every single time that you see this, it means that you can practice extra exercises or tasks about this specifically. Let's see here. And now let's go to the odd unit walkthrough, okay? In the odd unit walkthrough, remember what was the focus on the even numbers, in the even numbered units? It was oracy, okay? So the main focus on even numbered units was RSC. In odd units, the main focus is the challenge. Okay? So this is where we're going to start with the challenge. It is going to be explicit as well in the book. As you can see here, you are going to see this type of pages as I was mentioning. And this is for you to remember. Every single time that you see this shield, okay, is because you are going to develop a life competency, okay? So as you can see it in the top of the page. So this is life competency. Let's see. Look, the challenge. I'm going to go through because I want to show to you the digital part, okay? And this is focus on challenge, absolutely. And in the C1 levels, is this sustainability tasks only have are only present in the C1 levels. Okay, so you are going to see also extra worksheets for working on sustainability, and this is under the sustainability framework from Cambridge as well. Okay, as I was telling you. And stretch, okay? This is something that has been that has to do also with brain science, how our students need to choose the best way for them to respond to a task. So this is a nice way for them in order to help them, develop these competencies, not only life competencies, but in this case, language competencies, in order to see how well they learned what was supposed to learn during the unit. Okay? So stretch, this is at the end of the unit, and this is a way on how they can demonstrate what they have learned. Let's not skip this one, teachers. Please, let's not skip this one, because this is the one that this is the one that you are going to take as a real assessment. Okay? Digital components. Let's go to what you can find in Cambridge 1. So first of all, Shining Light has 3 extra digital units, okay? The 3 digital units are only in the platform. You are not going to see them in the books. You are going to have access to the digital units in the teacher's books, but not in the student's book or workbook, okay? So these 3 extra units are in the starter, halfway through, at the end of the course book, okay? This is present, as I was telling you, in the presentation plus. It is for reviewing and revise what have been done so far. The first digital unit is like an introduction to the course. And the last digital unit is like a wrap-up of everything that has been seen during the course, okay? It is flexible because you can also take some of those components, and it will be really cool, okay? This is something important, teachers, that I want to tell you, and it is that this is how you're going to see your materials when you activate OneCode in the platform. This is teacher's view, okay? What is going to happen when you activate OneCode? When the learning and assessment consultant gives you the code to activate, it is just one code and everything is going to be activated in separate ways. Okay? When I create my class, I need to add all the components of the level. Okay? Remember, in this case, we can see something that is not in all levels. Look at this, teachers. Look at this. Test and train is not in all levels, okay? So please be careful, because maybe you might wonder, okay, but I don't see test and train in my level. Test and train is only in the odd levels. It means 1, 3, 5, and 7, okay? 1, 3, 5, and 7. Test and train is only in the all levels, okay? So if you teach level 2, it means that you are going to see only the first component and the second component, not the test and train. So please, teacher, if you don't see this in your platform, do not worry, it's because it is not included. And I'm going to take each one of them for you to see what they include, okay? The first one is the component of the book. You are going to take the practice extra, that are those extra tasks that your student has apart from the ones from the book. The Presentation Plus is that tool that you project in your classroom to teach. Everything is included in the Presentation Plus. So you don't need any extra audio, you don't need any extra video. My recommendation, if it is possible, is that you can download the Presentation Plus in your computer, okay? The Teacher's Resource Bank, the test generator, that is going to be a good tool for you. And I have this in here that I want to show to you, that is the Kahoot quizzes, okay? The Kahoot quizzes are going to look like this. You don't need a Kahoot account, for example, okay? This is how it looks like. When you click on the Kahoot quizzes, this is how it looks like, right? If you do not follow this one, please go and follow it because it's important, okay? And this is what you're going to find. You're going to find all the levels, but even starter level from starter to 7, and you are going to find one Kahoot quiz per unit, okay? Per level and per unit. So this is going to be a good tool for you to also do stress-free activities in the class. Whenever you want to do something different, you already have the resource, okay? And as I told you, you do not need an account. You only need to come and open the quiz, and that is going to appear on your screen, and everything is going to be fun and happiness, okay? Let's go to the next component, that is the personalized learning. This is something that I want to, I have someone that is going to explain best on how this works, but I just want to clarify that personalized learning is just based in these two skills, reading and listening, okay? We do not have speaking and writing. What is the personalized learning? Personalized learning is a tool that is going to help me level my students according to the level that they are supposed to be. For example, if I am having a level 3 of Shiny Lights, okay? If I am having a level 3, it means that my students in that level are supposed to get a B1 level, okay? So, but we know that in reality, it doesn't work like that. Because from 30 students, maybe only 20 are in the B1 level. I have 5 in an A2, and I might have the other 5 in a B2, let's say, okay? So what this tool makes is to level all students according to these two skills, right? But the teacher needs to assign. I can assign personalized learning activities for my students to do. Please, teachers, I'm going to ask you to go to the Teacher Resource Bank and to the Learner Resource Bank, because there you are going to find more information on this, and you're going to find even the how to teach with personalized learning videos. And this is, if you are going to have Shining Lights in your teaching practice, it's important for you to go watch the video and learn more about that. You're going to have more than one, okay? And in the Learner Resource Bank, you're going to find videos on how to study with personalized learning. So your students need to know how they're going to use this tool as well, okay? The Test and Train. In the Test and Train, remember that the Test and Train is only in the odd levels, 1, 3, 5, and 7. This Test and Train is mini, okay? So it means that it does not include the exam, the practice test, but only the exam practice. In this case, you are going to see that you have also some resources. And in here, for example, you have the preliminary for school speaking exam video and examiner comments that are different from the ones that you see online. So these are exclusive for Test and Train, okay? And in this case, it's important that you can also share this with your students because they are going to see different ones. Okay, and it's really nice. It's really nice. So teachers, you are going to find in the Test and Train one practice per part of the test. It means that if the listening part has 4 parts, I'm going to have 4 exercises. Okay, so it's 1 per part of the exam. The student can do it as many times as they want. As this is practice, so they are going to find tips whenever they have a mistake. For example, they are going to find immediate feedback. And you, in the report, you are going to be able to see how well your students went. And of course, you are going to see something here, and it is the level of your students mapped with the Cambridge exams. Okay? I forgot to tell you that with the personalized learning, in the personalized learning, is going to also give you a report on the level of your students. So you are going to have two resources for assessment: personalized learning and the test and train in the all levels, okay? Personalized learning at in all levels from one to seven, okay? Starter doesn't have personalized learning. It's only from one to seven, but it's going to give you a clear idea of the level of your students. Okay, Mario, can we see your report of the personalized learning? Okay, let's see how much time you spent doing the personalized learning, and this is the level that you are now. You need to reach this goal, right? I forgot to include how a report looks like, but it's pretty nice on how it looks like. Okay, I can show to you at the end, maybe. Let's go. Let's move forward. And of course, Shining Lights includes also the STEAM sections, okay? The STEAM sections are even included in the digital units, okay? So we have a lot of STEAM projects because the digital units, all of them have a STEAM section, okay? What is STEAM? Components on science, technology, engineering, art, and maths. Okay, so all these components are going to be also included in some of the units of Shining Lights. This is how it looks like. Okay, so it's like an investigation. It's also a project, so you have a lot of things to do. This is not the same as the challenge. Please, teachers, it's different. So my approach to the STEAM project needs to be different from that one from the challenge, okay? Because as you can see, this also has the step-by-step to do it, okay? And we also have extra worksheets. So students are going to have also lots of resources for them to practice and to do before presenting, okay? We are also find in the teacher's resources, we are also going to find literature worksheets, okay? These literature worksheets are abstracts from books. This is not the whole work. It's not the whole series of books, okay? It's just abstracts to work on reading comprehension and theoretical literature. So this is how we're going to also see this. It's not reading only, okay? It's not reading only, but it's also having this type of skills on literature, okay? And of course, teachers, you are going to say, my goodness, how am I going to plan with so many resources? Because there are many things, right? We have the life skills, we have the challenges, the RSC, we have the STEAM projects, we also have every single task. I have extra worksheets for this, extra worksheets for that. I also have Cambridge One, everything that is included in Cambridge One. I have the personalized learning. I have a lot of things, right? So the teacher's book has step-by-step instructions, teachers, to do every single section of the book, okay? So the idea is that you can take a look at it before coming to class so you know how much time your students are going to spend in each one of the sections. We have all the tips in there, and of course, we have the Teachers Hub, okay? So whenever you want to consolidate one of those sections, so you just can come to the Teachers Hub, and it is going to be a big help. The Teachers Hub is the AI assisted lesson planner for Cambridge that you can use, and you can find it already on Cambridge One. Okay, so in the teacher resources, you can find a link to the Teachers Hub, so you don't need to go to an extra website. But in here, you have the QR code in case you want to go and log in. You only need your Cambridge One account. Okay. And you also have these engaging warmers, you have low-tech alternatives, suggestion for fast finishers. This is, I mean, teachers, you have a lot of strategies. this is not here for you to complicate more and to make your life more complex. This is to make your life easier at the time of teaching. If the teacher's book exists, it's because we want you, please, to take a look at the strategies that it has. If you don't like one of the strategies that the student book is proposing, let's come and take other alternatives. But this should be the first option that you have. Okay? So let's recap the main features of Shiny Lights. So it is integrated learning and assessment because it also includes exam tips, exam training, while at the same time of learning. Also, it includes self-assessment and peer assessment in an explicit way in each of the units. Okay, so for that reason, is integrated learning and assessment. Problem-based learning has to do with everything about the challenges and also the STEAM, okay? Life competencies and employability skills are from the framework that have been researched by Cambridge. So it is already there for you to start developing those skills in your students. The novelty and the surprising thing of Shining Lights is the oracy section. So this is going to be really good for your students to develop. I'm pretty sure that your students are going to be really good at this type of competencies. We have extensive digital resources, not only the ones from the book. The personalized learning is a big tool for me to comprehend how my students are doing according to their level. Okay. The extra worksheets on sustainability, STEAM, literature, speaking, writing, numeracy, mediation, and project organizers are going to be beneficial for continuing all this work. Okay. So we have a lot of things to do. We have a lot of resources, teachers. Please do not hesitate at looking, start looking, downloading, have your own portfolio, follow your own journal. We will love to hear from you which things have not been that useful, right? This is the QR code for you to get into the zeros of Shiny Lights, okay? So here you are going to find all the information that I have just mentioned and more because you are going to be able to download samples in case you want to see them, scope and sequences of teachers in here is all the information that you might need if you are still not sure about how to use it. And I want to ask you for the ones teacher in the teacher's resources, you have already the videos for training, okay? I forgot to mention this, but you already have there how to teach with Shiny Lights, how to teach with personalized learning, how to teach with extra with practice extra, how to teach with presentation plus. So please, teachers, watch the videos. So far, they are not going to give you a certification about watching those videos like the other courses that we have, but they are going to be essential for your teaching. Okay, so please do us a favor and before starting teaching with Shining Lights, watch the videos on how to teach with, and you're going to understand the pedagogy and the science behind those tasks. Okay? So thank you so much, teachers. This is my contact info in case you want to have a chat or a conversation. I will be open to share any good comment with you. And let me know now if you have any question?
Thank
I
you,
haven't seen
Andres.
the chat
Yes, we do
box.
have a couple of questions in the chat. So the first one was about the stretch part at the end of the unit. Is it that they can be used for some students and not everyone? How do you recommend they use that tool?
Okay, so the stretch one is for those, I mean the one that is at the end of the unit, okay? As I was telling you, I recommend you to do it because that is brain science, okay? One of the principles of brain science is choice. My students need to know that I want them to do something that they like to do. So when they have these three options and they choose one, they are going to feel more comfortable and they are going to be also engaged at the time of doing that task. So this is like the final product of the unit on how we are going to know that they know. So what a better way to know that by seeing them enjoying the way that they want to do it, okay? So the final stretch part should be done. Which one can be optional when you have the that section at the end of the grammar section, for example, when you have the listening stretch,
The
those
short
one can be
stretch
optional.
activities, right?
Yes, the short ones, yes. That those can be optional. Those can be good for fast finishers, for example, you see, because they are going to be useful for them because they are going to expand what they already did. Okay, so but the one at the end of the units should be done.
Perfect. Thank you. I hope that's clear for you, Laura. Then they're asking, how can I download the book? There is not an option that says download. I think it's the ebook. You mean the ebook or the digital platform one? So if Laura, if you can expand on the question. Then Leonardo is asking, he has an account when he was a student, if he can use the same account as a teacher or he needs to create a new one with a different email address.
Well, if you had an account as a student, of course you need to create one as a teacher, okay? So yes, you need to
And
create
it
one as
should
a
be
teacher
with
because
another account, email account, right?
yes, another email. It can be an institutional email, for example.
Perfect. Then Emiliano is asking, how does the test generator work? Is the tool downloadable or does it only work on the platform?
This one is not downloadable, but you can download the products that you create. Okay, so you can create some tests, placement. It has placement tests. It has also end of unit tests that you can like um, uh, customize. Okay, you can download the what you create, but the tool itself for Shining Lights is not downloadable. It is downloadable for other courses like Kidsbox, for example. Primary courses can be downloadable, but not this case. Okay, so it should be online. The test generator.
Okay. And Laura says that what she wanted to download was the ebook. Okay, so as to have the ebook offline. Is that possible?
Okay. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it is downloadable. We can reach out that question with you, maybe, teacher, because I'm not that sure if it is downloadable. I'm going to check it right now before we leave. We have 2 minutes, but I'm not that sure. Okay.
Okay. In the meantime, Laura, if you want to send us privately your email address, Andres can follow up on this question with you. Great. So if there are no further questions, I think it's been super interesting. So thank you so much, Andres, for your time today. There are lots
Okay.
of resources,
Celis,
right?
I'm seeing that fortunately right now, for example, the level that I was checking out for the test generator, the first thing that it says is download the tool. So it means that it's downloadable. Okay?
The test generator, right?
The test generator is downloadable,
Perfect.
yes. And the rest of them is not downloadable. I'm checking. I can confirm that the ebook cannot be downloaded. Okay? It is just launched online.
Great. Thanks for taking the time to check it right away. Great. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today, for your time, Andres, for delivering this session. and for being so clear on everything that is included with Shining Lights. Do not forget that you can get in touch with your local consultant in case you have any question. You also have Andres' email. You can get back to us on the follow-up email, of course, if you have any further question. And we're very happy to support you through your onboarding with Shining Lights. It is a great series. So good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Thank you and
And
see you.
if maybe
Yeah.
you were late, if maybe you were late for today's session, we're going to have another one next. So maybe you can join as well, okay? And
Yes.
if you have more questions from this session and you want to bring them to the next one, come, okay?
Yes, in the welcome back landing page, you have the link to register for the session that's on March the 3rd, if I'm not wrong, at the same time. So if you want to practice and bring new questions, you can do so. Thank you, everyone, and see you on the next webinar. Bye.
Bye-bye.